Thales of Miletus stands as a towering figure in the dawn of Western philosophy and science, often heralded as Greece's first true philosopher. Born around 624 BCE in Miletus, an Ionian city in present-day Turkey, Thales' life and work mark a pivotal transition from mythological explanations of the world to rational inquiry and observation. His pioneering efforts laid the groundwork for subsequent advances in multiple disciplines, making him a central figure in the intellectual revolution of his time. Renowned for his philosophical and scientific contributions, Thales left a lasting mark in mathematics with the theorem that bears his name. The theorem of Thales states that if a triangle is inscribed in a semicircle, then the angle opposite the diameter is a right angle. This geometric principle, elegant in its simplicity, extends its significance beyond its geometric implications. It symbolizes Thales' foundational role in the development of mathematical reasoning and its integration into broader intellectual pursuits during his time. Thales is also remembered for his profound assertion that water is the fundamental principle, arche, underlying all of nature. This idea, revolutionary in its simplicity, broke away from the mythological interpretations that had dominated Greek thought. Instead of attributing natural phenomena to the whims of gods, Thales proposed that a single, observable substance could explain the diversity of the natural world. This shift towards a naturalistic explanation was not just a scientific hypothesis. It was a groundbreaking step towards a more systematic and empirical approach to understanding reality. Thales of Miletus was not only a pioneering thinker but also one of the esteemed 7 sages of ancient Greece, a group of early philosophers and statesmen considered as the founding figures of ancient Greece and celebrated for their wisdom and practical contributions to society. These sages, including figures like Solon of Athens and Pittacus of Mytilene, were renowned for their pithy sayings and profound insights into governance, ethics, and human nature. The collective wisdom of the 7 sages shaped early Greek thought and provided foundational principles for personal conduct and civic responsibility. Among them, Thales is often considered the first, exemplifying the blend of philosophical inquiry and practical wisdom that defined this illustrious group. The intellectual climate of Thales' era was ripe with curiosity and burgeoning inquiry. Miletus, a thriving port city, was a melting pot of ideas and cultures, facilitating the exchange of knowledge between Greece, Egypt, and Mesopotamia. Thales himself is said to have traveled to Egypt, where he learned geometry and astronomy from Egyptian priests. He is reported to have used his knowledge to measure the height of the pyramids by observing the length of their shadows, a feat that showcased his ingenuity and the practical utility of mathematical principles. This ability to apply theoretical knowledge to solve real-world problems underscored the transformative power of rational thought and observation, setting a precedent for future scientific inquiry. In addition to his work in geometry, Thales made significant strides in astronomy. He is credited with predicting a solar eclipse in 585 BCE, an event that would have required an impressive understanding of celestial cycles. Although the accuracy of this prediction is debated, the very attempt to predict an eclipse signifies a remarkable leap in human understanding of the natural world. It suggests that Thales viewed the cosmos as a system governed by consistent and predictable laws, a radical departure from the unpredictable and capricious actions of the gods as depicted in myth. Thales' initiatives extended beyond his scientific and philosophical endeavors. He was also involved in political and engineering projects, such as advising on the construction of the canal at the isthmus of the Halys River, thereby modifying its course. This project was strategically important for trade and military movements, reflecting Thales' engagement with the practical and political needs of his society. Thales' approach to knowledge was deeply interconnected with his personality and the external events of his time. Known for his practical wisdom and curiosity, he was not content with theoretical speculation alone. One famous anecdote illustrates this. When mocked for his perceived poverty and impracticality, Thales used his knowledge of astronomy to predict a bountiful olive harvest. He then cornered the market on olive presses, demonstrating that philosophical knowledge could indeed be applied for practical and economic gain. This story not only highlights Thales' cleverness, but also his belief in the power of knowledge to shape and improve human life. Thales lived during a period of political turbulence and intellectual ferment. The Ionian cities were frequently in conflict, and the social upheavals of the time may have influenced his thinking. The instability of his era perhaps underscored the need for a stable, underlying principle to explain the ever-changing world. His inquiries into the nature of matter and the cosmos can be seen as a quest for stability and order in a tumultuous world, a search that resonates with the broader human experience. The intellectual milieu of Thales' time spurred diverse declinations of existential beliefs, including those of the other most immediate eminent thinkers, such as Anaximander and Anaximenes, who were also based in Miletus and are considered his immediate successors, together commonly referred to as the Milesian school. While Thales posited water as the fundamental substance, Anaximander proposed the boundless, eponymous, as the source of all things, and Anaximenes suggested air. These differences highlight the vibrant and dynamic nature of early Greek philosophy, where each thinker built upon and diverged from the ideas of their predecessors, contributing to a rich and evolving discourse. The impact of Thales' work on subsequent generations and the broader trajectory of human knowledge cannot be overstated. By advocating for a rational and empirical approach to understanding the world, he set the stage for the later developments in Greek philosophy and science. Figures such as Pythagoras, Heraclitus, and Parmenides would build upon his ideas, leading to the rich tapestry of pre-Socratic philosophy that ultimately influenced many following figures of the ancient Greek philosophical tradition. Thales' insistence on natural explanations paved the way for the scientific method and the eventual development of modern science. The sociocultural progress sparked by Thales' pioneering ideas extended beyond the realm of philosophy and science. His approach encouraged a spirit of inquiry and skepticism that would become hallmarks of the Western intellectual tradition. This spirit of inquiry led to advancements in a wide array of fields, including mathematics, astronomy, engineering, and political theory. By seeking natural explanations for natural phenomena, Thales helped to cultivate a culture that valued knowledge, reason, and empirical evidence, principles that underpin modern civilization. Thales' personal life, while not as well documented as his intellectual achievements, provides some insights into his character and motivations. He is believed to have been born into a noble family, which would have afforded him access to education and travel. Despite his aristocratic background, Thales is often portrayed as a practical and down-to-earth thinker, interested in the everyday applications of his knowledge. Thales' connections with other intellectuals and statesmen of his time further illustrate the collaborative nature of early Greek philosophy. He is said to have had discussions, among others, with Solon, the famed Athenian lawmaker. These interactions highlight the interconnectedness of the intellectual community in ancient Greece and the importance of dialogue and debate in the development of ideas. Thales' death is traditionally dated around 546 BCE, with his legacy enduring in the annals of history. His contributions laid the foundations for the subsequent flourishing of Greek philosophy and science, influencing countless generations of thinkers and shaping the trajectory of Western thought. In comparing Thales to his contemporaries and predecessors, we see a stark shift in methodology and focus. Unlike the mythological and religious explanations that dominated early Greek thought, Thales sought natural and rational explanations. This shift is perhaps his most enduring legacy, marking the beginning of a tradition that values reason and empirical observation. His hypothesis that water is the fundamental substance was a bold step away from the mythical cosmogonies and towards a systematic understanding of nature. Thales' principles of naturalistic inquiry and empirical observation were innovative and transformative. He proposed that natural phenomena could be understood through observation and reason, a principle that underlies the scientific method. His work in geometry and astronomy demonstrated the power of mathematical reasoning to uncover truths about the world, a legacy that continues to influence science and mathematics today. In summary, Thales of Miletus was a pioneer whose work and ideas set in motion a profound intellectual revolution. His assertion that water is the fundamental substance, his contributions to geometry and astronomy, and his practical applications of knowledge exemplify the transformative power of rational inquiry. Thales' legacy is a testament to the enduring impact of his ideas on the development of human knowledge and civilization. Through his work, Thales not only advanced the frontiers of knowledge in his own time, but also laid the foundations for the ongoing quest to understand the natural world. a quest that continues to inspire and drive human progress today.